In this video, I'm going to show you how to report on exit pages in Google Analytics 4 GA4. Exit pages are the last pages people view before they close their browser, click back, or navigate to another website to end their session. By understanding your exit pages, you can identify opportunities to improve engagement on your website. Google Analytics automatically tracks when people exit your website. However, exits and exit rate are not included in the standard pre-configured reports. I'm going to show you how to report on exits, and then I'll show you how to calculate exit rate. Okay, let's head to Google Analytics. We're going to use Google's GA4 demo property to walk through the steps to identify our exit pages. I recommend you open your own GA4 property and follow along. Since the exits metric is not available in the standard reports, we need to create an exploration report. To do this, let's navigate to Explore. Now let's click blank to create a new exploration report. Let's name the report Exit Pages. I'm going to leave the default date range. And now we need to click the plus sign next to Dimensions. Let's select Page Screen. There are a range of page-based dimensions you can choose from to use in your report. I'm going to select Page Path and Screen Class. This lets us report on the pages people view without any query parameters. However, you could choose Page Path and Query String, Page Title, or one of the other options. Now let's click Import on the top right corner. Next, we need to click the plus sign next to Metrics. And let's select Page Screen. And let's enable Exits and Views. And let's also enable entrances so we can compare the number of times people enter and exit our pages. Now let's click Import. We can now add dimensions and metrics to our exploration report. You can drag them to the second column or double-click the dimensions and metrics you want to add. We can now see each of our pages along with the number of exits, page views, and entrances. You can also reorder the columns by clicking on the column headers. Currently, this is the only way to report on exits in Google Analytics. Now let's talk about exit rate. Exit rate is the percentage of exits that occur on each page. Exit rate is not available as a standard metric in Google Analytics, and since the exits metric is not available outside of the exploration reports, we can't even use Looker Studio to calculate exit rate. So the only way to view exit rate for our pages is to calculate it outside of Google Analytics. Let's take a look at how to do this. Since Google's demo property doesn't include the export option, let's head to My Demo Property. I've already recreated the same exploration report we created in Google's demo property. And on the top right corner, we can see the option to export the data. So let's click this. And let's select the option for Google Sheets. Let's click Import the data. We can see the data from the report has been imported into Google Sheets. Now let's select a cell in the column we're going to use for exit rate. And let's enter equals B9/C9. Let's select the option to format the value as a %. And let's copy the formula to the other rows. We've now calculated the exit rate for our pages using data from Google Analytics. You can now use this report in Google Sheets to identify your pages with the highest and lowest exit rates. I recommend focusing on pages where you expect people to travel on to another page that have a higher than expected exit rate. You can then review these pages to identify opportunities to improve engagement and help lead people to the next step you want them to complete. Before we wrap up, I also want to show you where in the future you'll hopefully be able to add exits and exit rate to the standard reports. Let's head back to Google Analytics. Let's navigate to Reports, then Engagement, and open the Pages and Screens report. If you have editor or administrator permission for the property, you'll see the Customize icon on the top right corner. Let's click this. Now let's select Metrics on the right, and let's click Add Metric. If we search for exit, there are no results currently. Hopefully this will change in the future and Google will let us add exits and exit rate to the standard reports. But for now, this is why we have to create the exploration report like we did at the start of this video. Now let's head to Looker Studio. I've already created a report, so let's select the chart. And let's click Add Metric. Now let's search for exit. Again, exits and exit rate is not available. So until at least exits is added, we'll need to use the techniques we covered in Google Analytics to report on exits and exit rate. So that's how you can report on exits in Google Analytics and how you can calculate exit rate. Hopefully Google adds exits and exit rate as standard metrics we can use in all of our reports soon. If you would like to learn even more about Google Analytics, then please take a moment to check out the extra resources. I've included links in the description below this video. And to stay up to date and learn even more about Google Analytics, please take a moment to subscribe to this channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.